Hello everyone, I'm Alfian and today we are going to solve the LeetCode challenge on the challenge number 178 called the rank scores. And for this particular challenge, we are on the medium difficulty and we are working with the MySQL language and operating database queries. If you want to use something else other than MySQL language, you can go ahead and encourage you to do so. And for this particular challenge, we have the table scores, which has two columns. The first one, which is the ID, and the second, which is score. And the ID is the primary key as usual, and each row of the table contains the score of the game. Score is a floating point value with two decimal places, so it's like 4.5 or 3.5 and so on and so forth. And we have to write a solution to find the rank of the scores. The ranking should be calculated according to the following rules. The scores should be ranked from the highest to the lowest. If there is a tie between two scores, both should have the same ranking. After a tie, the next ranking number should be the next consecutive integer value. In other words, there should be no holes between ranks, and we should return the result table ordered by score in descending order. And the result format is in the following example. We have the example 1 right here, which is scores table as the value between ID from 1 to 6 has 6 entries. The first one, which is 3.5, and second one 3.65, and so on and so forth, and it is not sorted at all. And the output, we should sort the output from the highest as stated from the first point right here. The score should be ranked from the highest to the lowest. And for the next point, if there is a tie between two scores, both should have the same ranking. So do take note that if they are on the same score, then we should rank them accordingly on the same rank number, and we make sure that there is no gap at all between the rank of each entry. And after a tie, the next ranking number should be the next consecutive integer value, or in ascending order, so from 1 to 2, and then incrementing by 1, 3, and then 4, and then rank 5, 6, and so on and so forth. And without further ado, let's solve this out. The first one that we should do is by, as we already know, that as usual, I'm going to use select everything from scores. Why scores? Scores is the table name that we need to tabulate from our result. So we basically select everything from the tables that has the name of scores, and we have the output of respective ID column and the score column, which unsorted. Then we need to sort this. If you still remember about sorting from the highest to lowest, what is it? Yes, you guess it, by using the descending order rather than ascending order, or instead of using ascending order. And we should do, if you still remember the keyword, yes, it is correct, it's by order by. What should we order? Which column that we should order by descending order? You guess it, using the score column. We need to sort the score from the highest to lowest. How do we do that? Is by using the descending order, using D, E, S, C as descending. If we happen to use ascending order or ASC, then we are sorting this from the lowest score to the highest one. But we don't want to do that because the first point clearly stated that we should use the descending order. So how about we run this again to see the result, and we have the score, which is sorted score from 4 for 3.85, 3.65, 3.65, and finally 3.5, which is the highest to the lowest order. Then how do we put a rank to these respective score entries like this one? If we look over the MySQL and then rank, we can look over these gigs for gigs documentation or tutorial about the MySQL ranking functions. I will put the link on the video description later on, So you can get the better idea of what I'm trying to explain here. And the ranking function in MySQL are used to rank its row of partition. And this function always return with over clause, and the ranking function always assign rank on basis order by clause. So order by, we should assign order by, and to see which one or which column that we sorted by either descending or ascending order, so that way we can assign the rank based on the sorted column by this order by clause or keyword. And the rank is assigned to rows in a sequential manner, so we are basically assigning the rank from each row by each row one by one, and determine which one has the highest rank to the lowest one, and incrementing either from the top or from the bottom. So it is always up to us how do we modify our query language and the comment to the MySQL. And the assignment of rank to rows always start with 1 for every new partition. And I don't know about the partition yet, but bear with me, I'm going to guide you this without the partition keyword. And there are 3 types of ranking functions supported in MySQL, but in this case we are using the first point. Why first point? Because this function will assign rank to each row within a partition without gaps. So basically the ranks are assigned in a consecutive manner. If there is a tie between values, like for example, let's say from the first example we have the, let me expand this, and let's say we have 4, and then the next one we already have the 4, and this is the already descending order, using descending order by the score descending order, and this is the arrow down, and then 3, and then 2, and so on and so forth. And using the dense rank function right here, and we are assigning without gaps. So if there's a tie between values, they will be assigned in the same rank. So we have 4 and 4, since they are both the highest value, then we are assigning 1 and 1 that way. And 3, since 3 is lower than 4, then we need to increment our rank up by 1. So 2, and then since 2 is lower than 3, then we should assign this 3. So let's say if after the 2 we have another 2, then we should assign this by 3. If we have 1, then we should assign this by 4, and so on and so forth. If we have 0.5, then we assign 5. So the ranking should be determined. If there's a tie, then the dense rank will assign the same without the competitive measure. So they both have the ranking 1, and it goes as it goes down, it will be incremented by 1 depending on the score based on the left side or by the ordered column, which is in this case we have the column of scores. And for the second option, the rank function, this function will assign rank to each row within a partition with gaps. Here this is the difference between the dense rank and the rank function or the method. Here ranks are assigned in non-consecutive manner. If there is a tie between values, then they will be assigned the same rank, and next rank value will be the previous rank and plus no of number of peers or duplicates. So if we have, I believe if we have both 4 and 4, then the first 4 will be assigned as 1 and the second 4 will be assigned as 2. And there are some circumstances that not only the scores, but it is going to be ranked based on the other aspects from the other columns. So hence the partition is used in this case of rank, so that if there are a tie, then the other column will be considered to see which one has the highest or the higher rank between one another. So that is my explanation, and we should implement this. And in order to understand, let's consider the table result, and this is the result table, and this is the dense rank function, and we should select the subject. And for this case we are using the select and select the each table columns, which is the based on the columns. Since we have everything using the asterisk or the wildcard, then it has another dense rank method right here after the select, and it's placed besides the selecting everything or selecting certain column. And after the dense rank method right here, we have the over method, and this over we have the partition by subjects, order by mark descending. But for this, in this case, in this challenge, I'm going to use order by right away without this partition by subjects, so we can just nitpick our dense rank function based on our needs, and we can use as alias and dense rank from the we selecting this from result as usual. Okay, so how do we implement this? Bear with me, I'm going to guide you one by one. So for the ranking method, we can use the dense rank. After this, select everything, dense rank. If you notice, if we use a method, then the font will be turned yellow, unlike the rest, which is blue for the keyword or the clauses, and the score is the, I believe, is the column name. And after this dense rank, if you still remember, we use the over method, and after the over, inside this parenthesis or the over method, then it is going to be inside the argument from this over method. Then we can pass in our order by score descending order as stated from before, and we run this to see if it works, and we have the wrong answer as expected, and we have the ID score dense rank, and dense rank is stated as the table column name instead of using alias, because we haven't placed any as alias yet, but I'm going to guide you one by one. So for this case, we have the descending order based on the score table or the column, and we have the correct consecutive number 2, 3, 4, and as expected 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, and then 4. Okay, this one already correct. We only have one case, and the expected output is not expecting any ID column, so we can just eliminate our wildcard to use only the score column and the rank column, and rank is extra, and we can eliminate this wildcard selecting everything to only, you guess it, using this score column. Select only score column and then rank as, we can write as later. Let's see, we already have the score column as expected. The ID column is no longer shown in the output result, but for this dense rank column name, we still have this column name without the alias. Then we can write the alias after the over statement right here, or over method. We can pass in the alias using the s, and then we can place the rank. Because why rank is because the output is expecting a rank column using this alias and then rank. But we run this again, it will be return error, because why it's happening is because this rank is MySQL considered this as the function or method as the same as dense rank. If you look over this method, we have the rank method, and we already assigned the rank. Even though we already assigned the rank without this parenthesis as the method, it's still considered, MySQL still consider this as the function name instead of the alias name. And if you notice, it has the yellow color instead of the usual black color. What if we add another name as rank key and it will change to black color? How do we get around this? To get around MySQL reading this as the function or method instead of the string, it is very simple. We can select this rank by double clicking this and then using the double quotes to assign this as a string instead of a method. Then we should be able to pass this test result, and we have the accepted solution as expected. And let's run this and submit the code to see if it really works. Okay, so that's about it. I hope you understand my explanation. If you still don't understand, you can ask me in the comment section, or if you have any better solutions regarding this challenge, tell us what you think in the comment section. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.